Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimle. We are on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. Coming up this afternoon, fate of suspended members of NPP lies in the hands of constituency executives for conditional amnesty as the party excludes them from voting in tomorrow's flag bearer elections. We have details plus here from the NPP, the Electoral Commission, on the final preparations for the Congress. Also this afternoon, all is set for the much touted and anticipated NPP November 4 Presidential Primaries. Your election headquarters, as usual, is gearing up to bringing you comprehensive coverage beginning this evening. You want to stay with the Joy News channel for all you need to know about tomorrow's event. Plus, national security to release 8 civilians arrested in Garu over disturbances there. We have details of that announcement made by Deputy Majority Leader in Parliament. Plus, South African mission to Ghana insists the country is safe as the visa waiver agreement comes into force. More from her in the wake of recent attacks on some Ghanaian nationals there. We have details plus business, sports, world news, and showbiz coming up shortly. Joy News is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X on Joy News on TV. My personal handle is Athanana Aisha. Do stay for details. So if you're an NPP member who has faced disciplinary actions leading to suspension by the NPP and have hopes of participating in selecting the party's flag bearer, be aware that you are ineligible for tomorrow's elections. That's a warning coming from the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia, who has emphasized that the party's constitution is unambiguous about this provision. However, he indicates that your fate can only be decided by voting under a conditional amnesty based on the discretion of the constituency executives.
In Article 3(7) of our party constitution, it states, a member may be suspended from membership of the party or holding any office in the party pending an inquiry into his or a conduct by a disciplinary committee. Per our party constitution, what this presupposes is that a person can be suspended before appearing before a disciplinary committee or when a disciplinary committee would have been initiated. But as a rule, and in line with the rule of law, there is what we refer to as presumption of innocence until a matter is determined. So whereby a person has been suspended under this provision and has not gone through disciplinary committee, and the disciplinary committee has not come out with their verdict and recommended their verdict to the constituency executive, such person will vote. Please, let's take note of it. Where a person has been suspended prior to appearing before disciplinary committee or is before disciplinary committee, but the matter has not come to finality, such person will vote. However, where the person has gone through disciplinary committee and the disciplinary committee has come out with its recommendations and has submitted same to the constituency executive committee and sanctions or suspension applied to the person shall not be entitled to vote. But however, also, under conditional amnesty, the constituency executive can look at the merit of their case and pardon such people to vote.
In less than 24 hours, the NPP will be conducting the Congress in all constituencies across the country, with over 204 delegates casting their vote to decide the fate of the 4 aspirants. But it's all set for these elections. Here is the NPP Director of Elections, Evans Nemako. He spoke on the AM show with my colleague Benjamin Akakpo.
The party is formidable. The committee put together by the National Council has done the work that will ensure that all of them will appreciate that the conduct of the exercise is in line with the party's constitution, in line with the party's guidelines, in line with the rules and regulations put together to ensure that the conference will be the one that will elect for the presidential candidate. And the tomorrow's victory is not any particular person's victory, but the victory for the new Patriotic Party. As much as possible and to a large extent, our engagement with the key stakeholders have allayed their fears that there will be any malfeasance, because for each of the polling stations that the exercise will take place, there are guidelines that must be followed. You must be within the register to have access into the electoral area or voting area. And that has been discussed with the candidates, with the police, and with the EC. And so even the selection of the venue for the conduct of this exercise was done by the Electoral Commission, and all parties accepted the venue selected, and where there were issues, changes were made with the agreement of all key stakeholders, as I've mentioned. And so if you are doing this and across the 330 voting centers, you have given accreditation to candidate agents who will see to the interests of their respective principals, then you'll be assured that some of the issues raised or risks identified will be put to rest. And so I can assure you the level of engagement, agreement we've had, upon which we've had the guidelines that will be used for the conduct of the exercise, fears have been allayed, and the exercise will be as smooth as you can imagine.
We can now touch base with our correspondents across the country for more on this. Let's start with the northern region, where Martina Buguri is monitoring events for us. Martina, what can you report from the northern region as far as preparedness for tomorrow's event is concerned?
Now, I was at the EC's office this morning, and the regional director tells me all is set for tomorrow's election. He says that they've received all the materials and they are being stored at the various regional police armories. For 5 constituencies, that's Tamale Central, Tamale North, Tamale South, Sanerigu, and Nantong. Their election materials are being housed currently at the regional police headquarters armory. A total of 11,803 delegates will be casting their votes tomorrow. Tamale South has the highest population with 1,175, and Kumbugu has the lowest with 418. Now, with security, we are told that police officers will be deployed across all the constituencies. The police officers who will be present will not be armed. They will just be ensuring that there's order in these stations, but they also have a standby of patrol teams who will be armed, waiting for if there's any issue, then they can come in. That's what we are learning in the northern region.
Martina, have you had the opportunity to speak with some of the delegates and what they will be looking out for before voting for any aspirant?
Now, the few I spoke to say that they are looking at candidates who have been true with their words, promises that have been fulfilled. And so if they are going in to vote, they are looking at what you told them you would do and what you have been able to do. That's one. Others are also not bothered about whether you have made promises or not. All they are interested in is when some money is given, they would vote for whoever is offering that money. That's what I'm learning from some of the delegates.
Martina Bogre is our Northern Region correspondent. Definitely we have our eye on in that region. We'll bring you more. We'll be getting more in the Ashanti region where the party has its largest base and get updates from the preparations in that region. Meanwhile, in an attempt to mitigate another possible split from the party after the National Congress, the new Patriotic Party has bound all 4 aspirants with a stringent undertaking. This means that Kennedy Japan, Dr. Baumia, Adainimo, and Dr. Friakoto are bound not to resign from the party if any of them should lose the elections. This action stems from the precedent set by Alan Chermanting, who resigned from the party and established a new movement after being third in the Super Delegates Conference. General Secretary Justin Kodia Frimpong says the undertaking is necessary to ensure unity after the Congress. Samuel Mbura has more.
This decision taken by the 3 critical organs of the NPP stems from the action taken by Alan Chermanting after the Super Delegates Conference. He broke away from the party with claims that the elections were skewed for a particular candidate. So in an attempt to prevent the recurrence of this event, the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia, said all these aspirants have been made to sign this undertaking.
We're able to get the 4 aspirants contesting, namely Honorable Kennedy Japan, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Baumia, Dr. Akoto Friye, and Honorable Adenimo, all signing an undertaking. And in summary, what they signed to, and I'll read to all of you. 1 is to accept the primary election results. 2, to promote peace and cohesion. 3, in the event that they don't win, they will not resign from the party. 4, to support the winner of the primary. 5, to ensure and enforce mechanism that has been established by the party.
But is this undertaking legal or it is just a moral guide? Chairman of the National Elections Committee of the NPP, Professor Mike Eronokwe, explains.
So they are morally binding, and we expect that all these gentlemen understand the full parameters of such an agreement. Nevertheless, it can be a standard of measure of judging a person in the future. You entered into this gentleman's agreement, you broke it, today you have come to say what? So it's as binding as it can be binding on people who are civilized and who know what they are about. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the NPP, Stephen Tim, is appealing to all aspirants to put the interests of the party before their own interest and rally behind any candidate that eventually emerges victorious.
The way forward for us to deal decisively with the widespread indiscipline, apathy, and general indifference in the party. I want to call specifically on the 4 flag-bearer aspirants to commit to working as a team to ensure victory, even if they fail to win on Saturday, rallying behind the eventual winner.
In all, over 204,000 delegates are expected to cast their ballots across all 275 constituencies dotted across the country. All eyes are fixed on the outcome of this election. Already, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, has been tipped to win the elections. However, the margin is not certain. Reporting for Joy News, Samuel Mbura, Alisa Hotel, Accra.
Here at your election headquarters, we're bringing you, as usual, a comprehensive coverage of tomorrow's Congress. We have reporters across all the constituencies who will be bringing us live updates on all the happenings on the ground as and when they have them. Deputy Head of our political desk, Winston Amwa, has a brief of our coverage plan.
Starting tonight at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., everything you need to know. You know, we've always done the election eve analysis, and so we're starting tonight at 8 p.m. This time around, you know, it wouldn't be only Evans and I. We're being joined by Raymond Akwa. And so you can expect in-depth analysis. As always, you can expect, you know, the data to speak. You know, the NPP talks a lot about data. And we've gathered the data to let the data speak, and would interpret the data, build the trends, do the analysis for you to know what you can expect tomorrow when the NPP goes to the polls. Okay, so everything that happens in the elections, you can trust us to bring it to you. So we're starting the coverage from 7 a.m. We're finding out what is happening, have the materials gone to all the centers, and so from 7 a.m. I'll be here with Evans and Raymond, and then at 9 a.m. you'll have Newsfile. But Newsfile would also be going around the country, be finding out how the voting processes is going. Once Newsfile is done from 12 noon, we're going to be joined by former national chairman of the NPP, former campaign manager. You know him. I mean, once I've mentioned all of these, you probably know whom to expect. Will be joining us from 12 to 2 p.m. And then from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. we're joined by the Director of Research at the Office of the President, right here in studio to continue the conversation with us. And once we get to 4 p.m. till the results are declared, we'll be joined by Minister of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Stephen Asamoah-Boateng. And with all these persons in here, with our reporters asking the critical questions, with our you know, correspondents on the ground bringing us everything you need to know, with our team of analysts also in here, it's obvious this is the only place that you can be on your election headquarters as we bring you a 360 coverage of the NPP presidential primaries.
So tonight you'll be setting the stage for tomorrow, yourself, Evans Mensah and Raymond Akwa. Tell us what to expect.
Well, expect you know, in-depth analysis, expect insightful analysis, expect what you may not have heard before. And so what I have done, I'll just tell you what what I have done is that from now till, yes, I've seen the research. I've seen the research, but I'm not going to look at it again until 8 p.m. You know why? You also need a bit of a surprise element. So I've asked people to do other things for me, which I would only see on the day. And so what that means is that once you're seeing something for the first time, it brings everything that you know. This is not just about coming in there and planning a well-choreographed something. No, we have done all the analysis already, but also expect a surprise.
Now, founder and leader for the Movement for Change, Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, has charged members of his political movement to help ensure his victory in 2024. Speaking at the registration of volunteers for the movement in the Ashanti region, Mr. Kyerematen said ending the continuous rule of both the NDC and NPP will go a long way and bring significant change into Ghana's governance system.
The independent political group Movement for Change, led by former Trade and Industries Minister Alan Kyerematen, is poised for victory in the 2024 presidential election. On Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, the movement took to the streets of Kumasi to register volunteers to help in their campaign to secure victory. Speaking at the first volunteer orientation and registration in Kumasi, leader of the movement, Alan Kyerematen, charged members to help put an end to the over 30-year rule of both NPP and NDC.
Ghana for do not say, aye, if you have your son and your chi, aye, among your community.
Ghanaians say the 32-year rule of NDC and MPP has not yielded any positive results.
Now, 32 years of the history of any country is very significant. And yet Ghana, and China, the person who said, it took China less than 30 years to transform from one of the poorest countries into the second biggest economy in the world. 30 years. And it is time for change.
Mr. Kyerematen is optimistic of forming the next government come 2024.
Movement, ne fapi me di kan ni say we want to move Ghana beyond the duopoly of NDC and NPP.
The movement wants to move Ghana beyond the duopoly of NDC and NPP. We should all bring our minds together to rule the country. Communications team member for
Many exhibition centers are currently characterized by hearty chats between officials and fidgeting of phones as the places remain virtually empty on the first day of the voter registration exhibition exercise. The exercise, according to the EC, is part of the preparations ahead of the local level elections scheduled for December 19. The purpose of the exhibition exercise is to allow prospective voters to verify their details, including name, age, sex, as captured during the registration exercise, and make requests for amendments or insertions where necessary. A tour by JoyNews to some centers in Accra has revealed a very low turnout as officials appeal to voters to patronize the exercise.
Since the exercise began, since we came this morning, we have, I have over 600 people on my list, but it's only one person that has been here so far. Yes, only one person. Koko Memle, Harvard College, Koko Memle too. Yes, they need to come and check up their details to see if everything is correct for the upcoming elections.
It's been quite low for our expectation, but then we hope it gets better as the day goes on. Yeah. This is Harvard College, Koko Memle 1. And we are expecting about 600 people here to be here. So I think from today onwards, we are just expecting that the number would increase as the day goes on. Yeah.
Have you gotten somebody come check his name?
No, not yet, not yet. Yeah.
White Hair Clinic.
Okay. Yeah. So how many people are you expecting to check?
467.
467.
Yeah.
So far, how many people have come?
69.
So that's very.
Today, my expectation for today is around 100.
My name is Eunice.
Okay, so you are the officer here. Now, what's the name of this polling center?
Esther Daycare 1.
Esther Daycare 1. So how many people are you expecting to come and check their names?
237.
So as we speak, how many people have come?
One.
Only one person?
Yes, please.
The coverage on your election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol and the New Force. Petrosol, your clean fuel in quantity, always a delightful experience. And the New Force, a new nation. Let's get on to other stories. A law lecturer at the Gimpa Law School, George Bafo Asare-Friye, has made a strong case for a supranational government within the West African sub-region to pursue a common agenda for the good of the people. Key among his proposals are the establishment of a common market, a single currency, and a common central bank for security and economic independence. Speaking at a workshop series at the Gimpa Law School Thursday, Mr. Asare-Friye said a supranational government is the surest way to becoming an industrialized sub-region that can compete with the EU.
The court should also have the power to issue binding judgments and orders that the Commission or other mechanisms can enforce. 3. Developing a common market and a monetary union for the region by harmonizing trade.
Mr. Asare-Friye was speaking at a workshop dubbed Giving ECOWAS a Teeth, a case of supranational government for the West African sub-region. He called on contemporary African leaders to commit to the cause of a sub-regional government by ceding off part of their sovereignty for the realization of a supranational government.
Various governments have to cede some of their sovereignty to this body. This is because I'm of the opinion that ECOWAS does not have the teeth to bite. So regarding most of these policies, they are not able to implement.
Beyond the potential economic benefits, Mr. Asare-Friye believes security architecture of member countries will be strengthened if they are successful at implementing a sub-regional government.
Fostering a common foreign and security policy for the region, coordinating diplomatic actions, positions, and representations among member states on sub-regional and international issues, and establishing a common defense and security mechanisms that can respond to threats as well, and challenges to peace and stability in the sub-region.
He says the countries might as well scrap existing blocs if they are unwilling to pursue a sub-regional government.
And we do not get rid of this by having this supranational organization or supranational government to see to the enforcement of the various policies that we have, the various protocols, the various treaties that we have. Then it's better we just scrap ECOWAS.
The next step for Mr. Asare-Friye is to make copies of the presentation available to the ECOWAS Commission and other relevant organizations.
The South African mission to Ghana is insisting South Africa is safe as the visa waiver agreement comes into force. There have been many xenophobic attacks in the past, with many prospective travelers fearing for their lives. Recently, a priest was attacked and kidnapped. In spite of these, the commission to Ghana says the country is safe and is encouraging Ghanaians to take advantage of the 90-day visa waiver. Michael Ashali has more.
A busy day for the South African mission in Ghana as the much-anticipated visa waiver agreement kicks in. Deputy Ambassador to Ghana, Thando Dalamba, says this is a significant step for both countries and a step closer to making Africa borderless.
So we are entitled for 90 days to be in South Africa. How you use those 90 days, it depends. It depends on you. Whether you use it 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, but it must be 90 days in a year. I think other African leaders will follow suit, but it's within the AU agenda to have borderless, continent.
He explains that with the right documentation, any Ghanaian can travel to South Africa for at most 90 days without a visa.
It's a valid etiquette, a valid passport that is 6 months. That is valid for 6 months before you apply. The yellow fever certificate. Like in any other country, even here in Ghana, when you come, the immigration officers and police at Kotoka, I've experienced it.
A series of assaults on foreign nationals, often termed as xenophobic attacks, have been reported, notably in the week prior to the agreement launch. A Ghanaian priest was kidnapped and subsequently released after several days. Security stands as top concern for many contemplating a visit to South Africa. Deputy Ambassador to Ghana, Thando Dalamba, assured the country is safe.
In our mind that this thing is going to happen, our police, together with the Ghanaian authorities, they will make it a point that the pastor is back. Yes, South Africa, it's safe. But like in any other country, I'm not trying to defend the question of whether crime or not. Like in any other country, when you visit, you take those precautionary measures. And another thing, criminals, they take advantage of the situation at times. Like in any other country, they will take a situation. But we would like to appeal to the Ghanaians, when they go to South Africa, they must really, really take precautionary measures, not to travel alone, to travel in groups at least. I think it will be safer in that way.
So where should you visit in South Africa? And what should you do as well? Head of South Africa's Tourism West Africa, Thakiso Rokolo Jane, has some ideas.
So the waiver has an enormous impact on the two countries. One thing that I can guarantee you, your entry point is Gauteng in Johannesburg. So already I can tell you there's a lot more things to do. I'm from Soweto myself. So you do not want to miss Soweto. Go and find out where Nelson Mandela's house was. Desmond Tutu, go and meet the Sowetans in their hometown. And you might be, lucky to meet 1 or 2 Ghanaians there. Trust me, a lot of Ghanaians do visit that part. Go to the Apartheid Museum. Go to Sun City.
The Commission hopes that both Ghanaians and South Africans will not overstay their welcome.
Member of Parliament for the Dafiama Busia Isa constituency, Dr. Sebastian Sandari, has lashed out at government for deliberately refusing to fix the Dafiama-Dashie Sanri Road. The road was among some major roads in the Upper West region that was washed away by violent flash floods in 2021. He said the Roads and Highways Minister, in answering a question on the road in Parliament, promised to fix it in 2 weeks. Dr. Sebastian Sandari observed not an inch of construction work has begun at the site, causing the death of 2 persons and scores of others injured. He has therefore called on the government to come to the aid of the people. JoyNews' Upper West Regional correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
The Dafiama-Dashie Sanwe Road was among major roads that were cut off on August 12, 2021 by violent flash floods in the Upper West region. 50 million Ghana cedis was allocated by the government to fix the affected roads in the region. Construction work on the emergency roads were awarded to 4 contractors who they all executed and opened to traffic in less than a month. The Dafiama-Dashie Sanwe Road that links the community to other parts of the Dafiama-Bure Isa district and the Jiriba municipality were however left off from the emergency projects. Residents are now left to their own fate. Member of Parliament for Dafiama-Bure Isa, Dr. Sebastian Sandari, chastised Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amankwata and Upper West Region Minister Dr. Hafiz Bin Sali for using a helicopter to have an aerial view of the area without touching down to see the deleterious effects of the flash floods on the people living on the ground and under squalid conditions.
They did not touch down to really see for themselves the problems of the people. So they never got to this part of Dafiama, this part of the road, and they left. Whatever temporary intervention that came, this route was not considered. They did the Sombo one and the Midday one and left. So since August 2021, meaning it's more than 2 years, there has not been any intervention by government for this route.
To add insult to injury, there are no road signs to alert motorists and drivers about the danger on the road.
The feeder roads people that are in charge, whether they have come or not, at least even if the road is not being worked upon, we expected that there should be some signs. This is a very dangerous spot. That there should be some signs to indicate that authorities are aware that it's a dangerous spot. So when you are coming and you get to this place, be careful. But as we can see and as your cameras can capture, if you are not familiar with this road, you may run straight into any of these big holes. And two young men of this village fell inside this water and perished because of the bad nature of the road. Almost every week, somebody from somewhere falls inside here, get wounded and treated.
Dr. Sebastian Sandara said he has never relented on his quest for the road to be fixed, penciling the various officers that he has been to, including the DBI District Assembly, Federal Roads Department, and also posting an urgent question in Parliament for the Road Minister to respond to.
The Minister for Roads and Highways, in answering my question in Parliament, gave me 2 weeks. That within 2 weeks, government was going to work on this road.
We're still live on JoyNews Today. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you the very latest coming from the world of business.
Hello, welcome. Time to do business with me, Emma Davis. President of the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association, Joanna Ishan Mensah, has urged the public to patronize made in Ghana clothing in order to boost the fashion industry. Speaking at the start of the 12th biannual conference of the association, she said although the cost of living will decide on which clothing to buy, clothing made in Ghana are better and have the tendency to last longer. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wa.
The 5-day 12th biannual conference of the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association, GNTDA, brought together members of the association from the 17 recognized regions of the association in the country. Ahead of the main endeavor slated for Saturday, they have kept themselves busy holding many activities and competitions that includes sewing contest, quiz, and reports reading. To announce their presence in the Upper West region, they embarked on a float, spilling all principal streets in the Wa Township, singing, dancing to music from those speakers kept on top of a trailer and addressed in the end by the national president of the GNTDA, John Ishen Mensah.
Well done, congratulations. We thank you so much.
The biannual conference of the GNTDA is being held on the theme Creativity, Innovation and Finessing Recipe for Good Designing in the 21st Century. John Ishen Mensah underscored the importance and contribution of members of the association to the national economy.
Actually, we are doing a lot. It's quite unfortunate that there are a lot of influx of second-hand clothing. But thank God, Ghanaians have come to understand that we should wear made in Ghana clothes. So the mindset of going for false and those stuff is sort of going down. When you get 2 years, you can get something good to wear. So people are coming back to our clothing, and this is boosting our markets. That is what we do. That is what we use to pay our bills. That is what we use to we even pay tax to support the government in a way. So far, though, after the COVID, things have changed, but we are still on it. We are praying for the best.
She urged Ghanaians to patronize made in Ghana clothing to boost the fashion industry.
In an era of rapid technological advancement and increasing competitiveness, businesses are being urged to be innovative in order to sustain their organizations. According to the chairman of Vanguard Assurance, Daniel Ewadakon, businesses must be innovative in order to sustain their operations and withstand risks. He was speaking at the Stanford Institute for Innovation in Developing Economies annual business conference.
The annual business conference brought together distinguished business leaders and experts. The program was to help share invaluable insights and their wealth of experiences. Chairman of Vanguard Assurance, Daniel Ewadakun, said, with the many challenges faced by businesses, being innovative is critical to remaining afloat.
And that was when actually Vanguard became because we're like little rats coming out of every hole. Everywhere you turned, you saw a car coming and there was Vanguard on it. And we were moving targets. And that's when we really became a household name in insurance. So that was something that I also learned, that you have to do things sometimes out of the box and in a different way, and not put signboards everywhere which were stationary, which people had to go past, but you could have actually moving signboards. Today, like the world has changed, and you have to keep on getting innovative, because the moment you go on online, pop-ups start coming at you, and everything is changing now. So in business, you have to keep on thinking ahead of the curve.
Chief Executive of Type Company, Kobi Asma, added that businesses must continuously pursue value addition in order to grow.
Here we are, we see companies on the path to grow, making sure that they can add value to what they do and scale. So the meaning of growth and scaling depends on what perspective you actually want to have, even after the pandemic. As if the pandemic was just not enough, we were also visited by another scale of economic crisis in this country. And so it changed the whole definition of making business sense of what everybody was doing.
The conference was held under the theme, Balancing Wellness, Growth and Legacy, the Complete Leaders Conversation.
That's how we end business on Joy News Today. My name is Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is sports. Do stay.
May we do sports now on Joy News Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The Black Challenge paid a visit to the presidency on Wednesday after winning the gold medal in this year's Para Games. The competition, which was hosted by Ghana, saw the Black Challenge defeat Morocco in the grand finale 2-0 to lift the trophy. My colleague Elon Benai de Fiamapo was with the team and comes through with this report.
The team, led by President of the Ghana Paralympic Committee, Samson Dean, presented their trophy to the presidency at the Jubilee House in Accra on Wednesday after the Black Challenge beat Morocco 2-1 in the finals of the first ever African Paralympic Games, which was hosted in Accra.
Madam Chief of Staff, today we are here to announce to you that out of the 3 sports, Morocco took medals in wheelchair basketball, Algeria took for the female. In tennis, we had South Africa, we had Morocco, and we have Nigeria, Kenya taking medals in that area. We are at the middle class stage as a nation, and hosting this event really helped us to learn a lot and to push our athletes to the highest ranking. This time, it was a host and win. The gold medal, we won it. We won the cup, we won the best player, we won the best coach, and then we won the goalkeeping title. And we want this record that we have set to be captured in the President's speech at the State of the Nation.
Chief of Staff Akosua Frema Osayopari spoke on behalf of the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, who was on official duty.
I want to use this opportunity to congratulate the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the LOC for making it possible for Ghana to host this historic sports festival, the first of its kind on the continent of Africa. You may recall, and certainly you do, on the 5th of January last year, when I hosted Mr. Andrew Parsons, the president of the International Paralympic Committee, IPC, seeking my consent for Ghana to organize the event. Even at that short notice, I said, it is doable. I'm proud that this has manifested and my government has been able to deliver the first Paralympic Games as a demonstration of our strong support and promotion of social inclusion and rights of the vulnerable in the society.
The presidency also presented the team with an undisclosed amount of money for their outstanding performance in the tournament.
I bring my president's speech to a close and happy to present a token to all players and officials of the Ghana amputee football team.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The Ghana amputee football team were crowned champions after coming from behind to beat Morocco 2-1 in the final of the 2023 African Paralympic Games football tournament at the Magdan Park in Accra, September 10, 2023. The Paralympic team will be in action again in the All-African Games, which is set to take place in March next year.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time. Also join the Joy Sports team on Joy 99.7 FM as we come your way with Game Plan.
News, and that's how we also wrap up this afternoon's bulletin. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories to enjoy the rest of our programs.